What's happening, people? Johnny Styles here, straight from the Redcon One Studios. Now with a cool, awesome backdrop, as you can see here. One more time, this is the second week in a row we do this show with Luke and James, all the way, still in lockdown in the UK, and we're gonna bring him on one more time. Here you go. You have Luke Sandoe, straight from the UK, with his new gym that's really cool, and then you have James Hollingshead, all the way from the UK, with his leg day shirt on. Guys, how's everything going all the way there again in the UK?
It's much the same, mate. To be fair,
not a lot.
Are you ready? Are you ready for this to be over already?
I'm fine.
I think you're in the groove now.
Yeah, I'm used to it. I'm fine. I've got my gym set up in the garage. I'm good.
This is it. Like now, the gym's there.
I trained chest earlier. It was sick.
I bet it was.
It was brilliant.
You don't have to answer to anybody. It's just you.
Yeah.
No, James, do you have your own gym in your own place?
So I don't have my own gym, but I'm part of a gym and I have access to the gym.
Okay.
Fortunately, yeah. So it's just I get to train, but I have to adhere to the social distancing thing. So in an ideal world, like I say, if it was my gym, Luke would just be down there with me anyway, and we'd just be cracking on. But I don't own the gym, so I don't have the final say, unfortunately.
And it's also not. It's not just that. Is the gym's like 40 minutes from me?
It's not around the corner.
And it's not essential travel when I can do it from home.
Yeah. There's a few reasons. Yeah, that's why if anyone asks, they're not sure.
Yeah, it's not. There's nothing more to it. Like I had the opportunity to train at Muscleworks, but unfortunately they were reported, and they were told by the council they're not allowed to let anyone train under any circumstances and risk a large fine.
Yeah, and it is happening. So
I don't mind that either because my little gym is sick, so we're good.
All right. So that's what I was talking to Luke a little bit earlier, and I was talking to him that if we learn something from this pandemic is that at the end of the days of the world, we would have to own a gym in our house.
Yeah, I can still be huge when there's no reason to be. But zombies are a problem.
Well, this is what I was saying. I was like, people laugh at like a man who builds a bunker, but if shit hits the fan, the man's in the bunker and he comes out, the only man left alive. He was smart for building the bunker, so we probably should all start building a gym.
Now, no one. Well, him actually, just that man.
Yeah. So we need to take advice from Luke, really, to be fair, and turn our garages into. I haven't got a garage, so that's why I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I'd have to build
I had to strip so much. I've now got a fridge and freezer in my conservatory.
Interesting. All right, guys. Well, I'll let you guys talk on today's topic. If you need me, you can holler at me, and I can shoot you all the cool videos and images for the show.
I mean, all honesty, we've got one topic we want to discuss because I think James is on a YouTube binge watching stuff. So he will.
This will be cool. I'll be on point.
He's got to get it out of his system. So, and I'm all for this topic.
Well, I messaged Luke earlier, and I just said I feel that we need to. Do you know what? It's because I want to see if Johnny has an opinion on it as well, though, in all honesty. Yeah. I felt like we need to talk about Zelda.
We built this up, but we're not just talking Zelda, we're talking specifically
Ocarina of Time.
The Legend of Zelda, the Ocarina of Time.
One of the greatest games ever made.
Probably in the top 3 best games of all time.
Yeah, and this is why because I just wanted to know if Johnny's had any experience with this as well. Because me and you know we have. Me and you have discussed this. Me and you love this. But we do want to know what your opinion is. We want to know if you have any involvement in this.
Of course. I think we all grew up in the same timeline as the Nintendo, and then when N64 came out, it was one of those things that we all thought it was going to be a great game. We didn't know it was going to be such an amazing historic game. So to talk about it, it's just it sounds to me like we're in 2020 and we're still talking about it. This is a game that came out a long time ago. So people need to understand how good
it is. Do you know how happy it just makes me, though, that it's not just me and Luke that feel this way? Like, isn't it?
I think isn't it one of the best-selling games of all time as well?
It has to be, surely.
It's up there. It certainly is up there.
Which, like, games get a bit of a bad rep because obviously there is overconsumption of games and there is, like, forgetting the real world exists. But at times like this, it's quite a nice way to fill your days.
Time in Hyrule than out there.
Oh, exactly. Look, we have to look. This is what we need to just.
This is nostalgia. This is giving me butterflies and goosebumps. I'm a different animal. I'm a butterfly goose.
Oh, That is just beautiful. Like the simplicity of it all. Like Mount. Was it? What was it? Mount.
Not Mount Doom.
No, I know. I nearly said that. That's why I
Death
said
Mountain.
Death Mountain. Oh, so brilliant.
Death Mountain, and we had obviously Gerudo Valley. The
Gerudo Valley. You had the Zora's Domain.
We had Lake Hylia, the Zora Domain, Kokoriki Forest.
Oh,
Kokoriki
yeah.
Village.
So
I think it's amazing.
It felt it was like the first game where you could freely roam to a certain extent, wasn't it?
I think it was one of the first games when it felt large enough. It felt just big, and it felt worth the effort as well.
Yeah. Worth exploring.
Yeah, and it was like you could actually explore, and there was more emotion in it than most games I found. And
I feel like everything up to that point was quite linear.
Did you cry a little bit at the end when the end credits roll when you've beaten Ganon? Did you cry a bit?
So what specific part? What made you cry?
Just when the end credits roll and the camera's like panning around like Hyrule and it looks amazing.
Yeah, and it's all over. It's all done.
It's like piano-y and you're just like, fucking hell, it's amazing. And all the ones are really happy. See,
I don't recall crying, but I do recall getting upset when I looked back at what actually happened to the hero of time.
Yeah,
he had a sad story. Yeah. You know, his story didn't end there.
Yeah, he's in the shop.
Look at this.
He's in the Kokiri shop.
He's buying the shield.
Yeah.
So this is obviously very at the beginning of the game when you're trying to kick yourself up to be allowed to leave the.
Yeah, so you basically got to run around finding rupees because for some reason in the world of Zelda, money's just lying around in bushes.
Literally.
He's just walking around, just picking up money out of bushes, and he's made 50 quid, enough to go and buy a shield.
So you get that, and then you get you get a wooden sword, don't you, or just a regular child's sword?
You find it outside.
Yeah. Oh, did you know what was the amazing part about this game as well? And it was, if you look in that top right corner and you can see those 3 arrows.
Yeah.
And that was the ocarina, playing the ocarina.
Yeah, and then you have the little C buttons as well, and that was as complex as it got. Like Breath of the Wild now is a brilliant game, but it's a lot of effort, man. Just to change the weapon, you're like, fucking hell.
I feel like it can be too big. I feel like games now might be too big. I feel like sometimes you lose a little bit of
too many options. Like I keep trying to play Fortnite with my son. Not a clue what's going on. Don't know what it is.
You need direction. Sometimes a game, like when an open world game, as great as it is it lacks direction and it can disconnect you from the story, like we said before. Yeah.
And it's what are your? I mean, you're more of an RPG. No, you're not an RPG guy, are you? Just despite loving Zelda.
That's the thing. It's funny. Like I have particular games I like, but there's no category as such. So if there's just a game I play and it just appeals to me, it just appeals.
I think games. Sorry, go on.
No, go on. It's all right.
I was going to say, I think a game. I'm surprised you've never delved into Skyrim because I know you love a very distinct, straightforward story, a linear story. But because Skyrim has a linear story and everything else too. What did Skyrim originally come out on? What console? All of them. So it came out on PlayStation 3, did it? I think it's on. I think they brought it out again for PS4 and Xbox One. Something like that. I must have been doing something when they were released. Like I must have been playing something on another console that had my attention because I would have played it if my attention wasn't already grasped. You made it on the PS4 because they remastered it. It's a cool. But back to Zelda, mate. This is what we're here for. This is what no one's here to watch us for. Listen, the bodybuilding isn't even that important. Not right now. Lifting happens. That's just normal. But talking about things like this doesn't get to happen often. Another thing about Zelda, do you remember how obviously as a child you had to collect the free stones? Yes. So you obviously had the 3 domains where you had to collect the stones. Yeah, then you take them to the Temple of Time. Yes, and then you put the sword in, and Ganondorf. Yeah, prick. He was waiting all along for the hero of time. Snidey bastard. And then obviously you come out in present day, which is the future essentially, and Ganondorf has seized control of Hyrule. Yeah. Yes. And the castle is no longer beautiful anymore. It's smashed in, surrounded by lava. Yeah, the moat is a lava moat. How did he manage that? Magic. Can you imagine? Force of power. Ganon's like, right, we need to sort this moat out. Mount Doom's up there. I reckon we can sort out enough plumbing. We can get some of that lava to. He was standing outside like we need to do some landscape. Rises when the massive bat flame appears on the bridge. That is so specific. It's a lot logistically. I don't know how he managed it. Is he up there with a ladder? Painted. That would have took Christian Bale about 7-8 days to do. He's just knackered. He's fuck, I can't be asked for pain now. I'm knackered. I need to go to bed. Oh god! I'm sure
It would have been just as dramatic if you just had a massive explosion.
Yeah.
Oh, see, graphics. There is a remaster of this, isn't there, on the Switch, I believe.
No, there's not.
Okay, no, it was on the DS.
Yeah, but it actually looks pretty much the same. It doesn't really look any different.
Okay, I've seen people experiment with the Unreal Engine. You've seen that as well, where they've.
I heard a rumor that Nintendo want to remaster all of them and bring them out all on the Switch on their online store. Like all of them, Majora's Mask, all of them, all of the like Wind Waker, everything.
It makes sense because there's a trend lately where that's a very popular thing to do, especially, you look at like the Resident Evil franchise, and I've been playing obviously Resident Evil 2 remake last year, 3 remake this year, and then the games sell well, and you have a core following from the the old days. You're going to always have the original following, and on top of that, you're going to get new followers from the new following as well. So I think it always works. It tends to work if you do the game well.
Good idea if they bring it all back, and I think Xbox have done that with like Mass Effect and
yeah.
And I know that obviously Zelda are a lot older. But I feel like I missed one because I did Twilight Princess on the GameCube, and I'm not really a gamer, so I'm just a Zelda fan.
Yeah.
And then there was Skyward Sword, and I missed it, and then I'm straight onto Breath of the Wild, and I feel like Skyward Sword, I've completely missed it. And the reviews, everyone says it's like a 10 out of 10 game.
The Skyward Sword was set the earliest. It was Demise. It was the prequel to most of the games. I haven't actually played it, but you know me, Luke. I sit there on YouTube and just.
I've read up on the lore on it. Because we were actually watching lore videos in Florida.
We were, and so essentially, Demise, his reincarnation as such of evil is Ganondorf.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool. It's a great story, honestly. Like, if anyone wants to play an innocent game with a great story and just like that makes you feel good.
I keep trying to get my son into Zelda. And he's being a little prick and not doing it.
What is he loving at the minute?
I think you should try him with remember Super Mario 64. Every kid
loves
so good.
He's into Fortnite now. Fortnite and Minecraft have stolen him.
Do you know what? It's almost like the games are too basic for kids now. Like the games we played, obviously,
Mirror Shield. What an absolute ledge! Look at him, the Mirror Shield.
My mother, I remember. She when I was playing Super Mario 64, she was like, "This is too much." And she used to love the straight up Super Mario Bros. So imagine what your son thinks when we suggest Zelda.
Yeah, I'm even talking Breath of the Wild.
Oh, really? Even that?
Any of them, or even the remade Link's Awakening, didn't they? They brought that out.
Yeah, they've done that. They've done
he could have played that, but he's a little prick and just thinks, I know more than you. So I'm like, listen, you probably a shit game.
It's more of a rebellious act because he doesn't want to listen to his father.
Because fucking Fortnite cost me money, man. His pocket money now is V-Bucks.
Oh yeah, because you actually have to pay for stuff, don't you? On that,
yeah, so if I've got to bribe him with money, it's like I want V-Bucks. Dad, I want V-Bucks because I want to get a new skin. Look at this skin.
I need to ask this question, and this is. I think I know the answer from you, Luke. Right. Metal Gear Solid.
Absolutely.
Gear Solid. Oh, did you ever play Metal Gear Solid, Luke?
I never played it.
You don't know what you're missing.
I know I'm missing out.
Oh my god! Go ahead and buy a PS2 and just do it all over again.
Imagine the thing is, this is what they need to do. All these old classics, just bring them back. Just polish them up. Just polish them up a little bit. Just like when they remaster a Metallica album. Just do that, bring it out again, and everyone can enjoy it.
The biggest mistake ever made in gaming was to get rid of David Hayter as Snake.
Absolutely, 100%.
What a joke! I like Keith Sutherland, very cool. But you ain't Snake, mate. You ain't Snake.
No, there'll only be one solid Snake, and that's every hater.
Luke, I'm going to buy you Metal Gear Solid.
Okay.
You get a Metal Gear Solid 2, and you just let them play. Don't say anything. Don't let them research. Don't do nothing. Let him play it. It was so ahead of its time. Very ahead of its time.
But the thing is, the games, Mr. Chow, Benjamin Chow, he knows this. I keep buying games and not
playing them.
Never fucking playing them. Like Breath of the Wild, I haven't really played it since we got back from Boca.
I haven't though. I think that game requires a joint experience. I think the fun of it was.
I think when this isolation's over, I think you and I are going to have to just
game
chill at each other's houses for a couple of days and just play that.
I think so because we got a lot of catching up to do in those.
We got a lot of finishing to do.
There is. Yes. We got literally to the last. So on Breath of the Wild, we literally got to the last. What do you call them? Divine Beast. So we're very close to the end. We're very close to the end, and I think by the time it's done, we'll probably have the second one will be out.
I'm doing a MCU marathon. So we've done Marvel, we've done Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, and Thor. With Captain America tonight.
Nice. I like the first one,
and then she's loving it. I
really enjoyed the first Captain America because of the change of timeline.
I love the first Thor. We watched it today. It's so good.
Very good.
It's
the first Thor, the first Iron Man, and the first
are better than I remember.
Yeah, the original Iron Man was just. I love Jeff Bridges in that.
Yeah, he's superb.
Obadiah Staines, just like really awesome.
Yeah.
Tony. Oh, Metal Gear Solid 2. Even the graphics at the time, like a far. You know, they did you dirty with this game, though, Johnny. You know, they did you dirty with this prologue.
Yeah, I know everything, and you know, Derek just did a great comment for the soundtrack alone. It was just such a great game to play because you figured all the movie based of it, you know, and you could do so many things that to this day no other game did at that time.
This looks like the intro to Winter Soldier.
It pretty much is. Pretty much is. You're on the boat. You're on the boat and you're kicking the crap out of people.
And it's snowing and everything. Yeah.
The other brilliant thing about this as well was just the voice acting was out of this world.
Yeah, everything fits perfectly. And for me, I was never a POV guy. I was never that first person.
Yeah.
But this game involved a little bit of everything. It was third person and POV.
You could do this.
You can do that. You can shake them up. You know, all that. Shake them up right there. Make them dance. You know, shoot them in the feet.
Take his dog tag.
Take this dog tag, and then the whole thing with Mantis, the way you had to defeat this boss, it was just insane. Because to this day, I don't know if
what is the premise and story? And
Johnny, do you care to delve into this, or do you want? It's deep,
no.
Just can you give a brief overview, or is that not possible?
It's Solid Snake. It's the best of the best. So you gotta if you play you don't need to play the first one. Just play this one, and it'll tell you a whole story of it. And
two explains a lot.
There's people that have actually cried playing this game because of the story. That's how good the game is.
I think I'm probably one of them, Johnny. Honestly.
I got that from Zelda crying a little bit just because the end is quite.
It's good to cry. It's
like a happiness. I'm not like crying. Yeah. I'm crying. It's like the accomplishment and the happiness and just save the whole world.
Very emotional games you guys have. Very emotional games.
Can I say this as well though? I know this is still on the subject of Metal Gear Solid. I tell you what was another excellent addition was 3 Snake Eater.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing happened with Snake Eater. It's just the first thing I heard about Snake Eater was the music, and just the music alone just brought back.
What about the theme song, Snake Eater? The actual theme song.
It was insane. It was
like a James Bond song.
Right. I think.
Eater.
I remember. I think Frank McGrath was here. He liked playing Gears of War.
Yeah.
And when Gears of War came, I kind of liked it. Again, it was kind of the third person point of view camera instead of a POV. With Metal Gear, you could do that, and you can snipe people. When you snipe people, you can see through the lens. It's one of those things that you feel that you're playing a game, but at the same time, you can have a POV. So it's the best of both worlds.
That was such a fourth wall-breaking game. There was a part, actually, Luke, let me tell you this. It might not mean much to you, but obviously in games, there's cutscenes, yeah?
Yeah.
Normally a cutscene means you can't act, you can't do anything. Yeah. It's just a cutscene. There's a cutscene part which happens, and there's an enemy. And immediately after the cutscene, the enemy is just walking off into the distance, and you're meant to fight that enemy later in the game. You can sneakily pull out your sniper rifle there and then and shoot him in the head and cancel out that whole boss fight.
Really?
Yep, you can literally do that. It's brilliant. Oh, that's I can't remember his name. Solid. Oh, it's Russian. The Russian.
He's the guy. They've never adapted this into a movie, then.
They're trying to. The guy. I'll tell you who's doing it. It's the guy that's on Skull Island.
Okay.
He's
I remember Escape from New York. Remember with Kurt Russell?
Snake Plissken.
Escape from
prison. So that's usually what they used for inspiration of Metal Gear Solid. And he's too old now, but that was kind of the vibe they were going with. It
was absolutely the eye patch. The mullet haircut. Yeah, it was so cool. Well, I don't know. Sorry, I just get so excited by games. Luke, is there anything like these topics that might be going a bit offhand? Is there anything you wanted to kind of talk about?
Mate, I've done.
I'm sure.
I've been doing so many podcasts and live feeds recently. I don't even know
I know.
what day is it. Chest day. I train chest
Yeah.
day. That's how I was in
That's literally all we can go by at the minute. Music. What about music, guys? Like when you so then when we were around playing these games in the earlier days, there's usually a few albums that went along with those. There's usually a time in your life where things are just so vivid. So music from that generation, what you were doing in that time.
That reminds you were like, where was I when I'd never played these games? I was too busy doing Warhammer.
Well, there you go. But was you listening to music during Warhammer?
Yeah, I was doing Warhammer, so I was like painting my Space Marines and my Tyranids with probably Linkin Park or Newfound Glory playing.
I was playing Linkin Park. I was the same. Linkin Park, first two albums, Meteora and Hybrid Theory. They were getting banged.
These are real bands. Like I play in a band too, and I was playing all these cover bands. You know, but and Nintendo games. I remember Nintendo games had really amazing music. Castlevania comes to mind. Mega Man
brilliant.
comes to mind.
Yeah.
And to this day, there's bands covering Mega Man.
Great soundtrack.
I love how analog game sounds are. The synths, and I muck around making a few like little crappy beats at home. Luke knows, but I love using the sounds that are very like polyphonic. Kind of like from this era, like where it's just like some 80s stuff.
Yeah,
it's brilliant. So this is an original Mega Man, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a Mega Man.
Wow, this
1.
is like wow, God. Me and Luke might not even been born. What year was this?
It's 85, 84, 85.
Yeah, it's before us, mate. Also,
my God,
it's incredible.
Still, it's still playable. It's still playable.
Yeah, of course.
And all these, I think, young kids now don't understand the level of frustration we all went through playing these games. That's why today's day and era, I'm not saying that the games are easier. I'm just saying they're not as frustrating as this. Because remember, you had no like comebacks from this. Like, oh, you got to start over again.
You can't save it.
You can't save it.
Old games, there was consequence, and that's the difference between games now and then. Well, now, if you die, it's a restart point just before where you died.
Yeah.
Old games, you'd literally have to do the whole game again.
Yeah, and also the other thing is as well, like Sonic, you could probably complete it in about 40 minutes.
If you're good, of course you could. Yeah, definitely. Whereas now, you might have a 38-hour game. If you're,
Mass Effect 2 and Skyrim cost me years of my life.
cost me.
Yeah.
I like that.
In the 64, after I played Mario and Zelda, then I played Donkey Kong 64, and that took years of my life.
Do you know what? I missed that. I think I was too busy playing. What came out on the 64? I was playing Silicon Valley.
I was playing Star Fox.
Lilac Wars. Yes.
Yeah.
Star Fox.
You remember when Star Fox came out? It was a whole polygon thing. Remember?
Oh yeah, originally, it was just like this.
And us as kids were like, "Oh my God, these graphics are amazing!"
Well, it's because it was the first time you saw something in 3 dimensions.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was nuts.
Star Fox is amazing. Metroid Prime.
Absolutely.
Perfect Dark, GoldenEye.
Oh yeah.
GoldenEye, yeah.
The funny thing is, if you go back to GoldenEye now, like I was watching some reviews on it the other day, like present day reviews, and how awful the gameplay is now, and how laggy and terrible. But at the time, it was beautiful. Yeah, look at this.
Come on. I feel it's aged, but I feel so weird because I remember at home, I'm like, oh my God, this is some next level. I remember having my Game Pro magazine, and they were like, oh my God, next level.
Look at the mountains and the meteors; they look real. But it's like, but did you ever play it on the N64 when it was Lilac Wars, the sequel?
Yeah. That was a good game.
Phenomenal.
You obviously had the whole team. You had the frog.
Yeah.
You had obviously Fox. There's the frog there. Look, I can't remember his name.
Frog fighting like in an X-wing.
This is one of those games that they did a remake, and it looks really good.
Yeah.
Do you know what? They're very difficult games as well. Those ones are very hard. You get punished.
Very, very hard.
You have to. Those are the games that require you to understand sequence. So you learn. You have to learn the sequence, and then it's all about failing, coming back, and learning the sequence over and over again until you know it.
Yeah.
Horrible games.
Racing games were like, because what was I had the on the it was the N64. It was the jet ski.
Oh,
I forgot what it was. Like you were racing and stuff.
I think I know. I can't think of what the title of it was.
Look it up. I've forgotten what it was called. But it was an N64, and you were on a like a jet.
Wave race, I think it was, right?
It was like, yeah, it was. It was so good.
Wave race.
I remember. I'm looking for it, but I think I know what you're talking about.
It came free with the N64. It was like the shit free game they give you, and I think
yeah.
I had that and Zelda, and I hadn't quite worked my way up to Zelda yet, so I was just.
This is the one I remember. I remember Wave.
Yeah, and there was one. Yeah, I think it's this, and there was one when you were doing a level around like an oil tanker.
Look at the graphics. Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Remember? Yeah. I used to remember. Oh my God, the water looks so like perfect. Look at this.
It looks like Diddy Kong Racing when you're in the water, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Everything falls right under it, and then you had that point that, oh my God, this is amazing. And then kids will never know how much we went through with this.
They will never know.
Oh, this just makes me think of when I used to play Conker's Bad Fur Day. Did you ever play that?
No.
Johnny, did you play Conker's Bad Fur Day? It was very adult, very adult. It was on a child's console, but it was the most adult game anywhere. You played as a squirrel called Conker, and he goes out and gets pissed out of his nut and goes to a strip club and comes home late, and I think his missus goes missing or something. I can't remember. And you basically got to find her or something like that, or win her back.
I had a game called The Day of the Tentacle on the PC when I was really
one tentacle.
Day of the Tentacle, and that was a really weird game like that. It was definitely an adult game.
Sounds a bit porno.
It does, but it wasn't.
Day of the Tentacle.
The Day of the Tentacle. Yeah. I just remember what it looked like, and I don't really remember much about it, but I remember thinking this is a bit adult, and I was a child.
Yeah, they slip them games in there. Every now and then.
Yeah. Where is this streaming live? Where are we, Johnny? Where do
we exist?
On the Redcon 1 YouTube, Redcon 1's Facebook, and then we're doing Redcon 1. I think your own fan page. Look,
I do wonder, whether we should talk about bodybuilding.
Yeah, probably a little bit. How's your training been?
It's pretty decent, mate. Did legs today. Good session.
How was it?
Hard, man. Hard session. Very good.
Are you doing anything heavy, or is it like heavy, or is it kind of?
No, nothing's like what none of the weights are like what I know that I can lift, but there's no recklessness now. Yeah. It's like what we introduced anyway. We started to scale back.
If you're squatting, like the other day when I was squatting, I stopped to 4 plates and just had
same.
And stopped to 4 plates, and then just put some chains on, and that was it. And just
I'm 100% the same right now.
It's great, isn't it?
It feels better on the muscle. Like you get more pumped. You control the weight with the lift better. You don't get any injuries. These are all things that we know. Sometimes it takes a quarantine to make us. Well, to be fair, me and you applied this kind of into our training anyway. We hadn't done those stupid lifts for a long time, really. So
I did dumbbell press today for the first time since the pec injury.
How's that?
I've only got the heaviest I've got up to is 40 kilos at the moment. It felt great, actually. I mean, it still feels a bit weird, but this pec, it's failure before the left.
Oh, really? So it actually does fail.
So it's I wouldn't say it's weaker, because when I actually press, like with the first couple of if it was weaker, the first ones would be weak.
Yeah, it just fatigues.
It fatigues, so because I think it's the pan's a bit different. But it's out on this. It's really nice and round and full now. So I was a bit scared at first, but it's good. And I've been doing. I think where I'm training it in on my own with no mirrors, you're not there. There's no one else watching us. There's no cameras. I'm just kind of care way less about the weight.
Yeah, and you train much more. You tune in really well because of that. I find.
I'm thinking I'm just going to make, because I'm quite limited on some of the equipment.
Yeah.
Or I have to be creative, and I'm just training my muscles.
Yeah.
Instead. It's weird. It's like I'm not trying to squat a bazillion plates.
Yeah, it feels so much better. Mm-hmm. Honestly, it feels like you could do this for another 10 years doing it like this.
Well, the only thing I've got on the next quarantine video, all I'm doing is showing people how to cut those t-shirts like that.
People need to know, because Aaron, they're in demand. The tunics are in demand.
So that's me measuring. That's how I measure stuff.
You seem to be able to fit a lot of kit in there, considering you did do a good job.
Yeah, and it's perfect. Everything fits. I can do everything I need. That Redcon shelf there, I'm gonna get. That's gonna be going inside the house, and then I'm gonna put a little dumbbell rack there.
You got a good little stash there.
And then it's everything I need is I've got more chains and plates now.
Yeah, I saw you got some new additions, some more chains and stuff.
Yeah, I've got about 100 kilos in plates, in chains even.
That's good. That's awesome.
I've got about 300, 400 kilos in plates, and about 100 kilos in chains.
And I suppose for the listeners, what sort of exercises do you like to incorporate chains with?
So we're a bit. You and I love a reverse band squat.
Yeah.
I don't like reverse band hack squat. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't like a reverse band barbell squat or a safety bar squat. So with chains, it's the same thing. It's the way it deloads. It's very similar.
Yeah. It changes that a lot.
It's a lot nicer on the knee and a lot harder on the quad.
Yeah.
I can't get under a bar, so I can't do barbell squats. So I can do safety bars.
Honestly, Luke, I've been doing similar. I've been using the wraps. I've been using straps on a Smith. It's a combo, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely. And you know what? It actually feels amazing, especially when you put a band on it. So the hack feels like the side.
You said like the one,
or the one you have at Kings.
Yeah, you said.
Band on it. And when you put it up to a leg press, it feels like it feels better than a hammer strength leg press. I'll tell you that.
Oh, really? It's a decent trade-off.
It's so adjustable. The foot plate, I can move it right down so I can get as deep as I like on a side base. And you can make a calf thing as well.
Oh, yeah, I can see. You got the adjustable. You can actually change the angle of the foot plate.
And I can change the foot plate and I can change the base plate as well. So I can change both sides. And because the weight's underneath, it doesn't take up any space. And it's very steep. So it makes it. So that's for calves, by the way. When it's at that angle, that's for calves.
Yeah. That was a bit of a steal, wasn't it? You got that for a good price.
Four plates aside on there for like sets of 30 on the leg press. And I was supersetting that with. So I was doing 20 kilos of chains, lunging up the road, and then followed by a set of 10 with 4 plates on the hack. Yeah. And it's plenty heavy enough.
Brilliant. I've got a question for you, Luke, actually. Look.
Oh, yeah, hello.
So Andrew Webber, Luke, if you could add one machine to your garage and cost, space, and availability wasn't an issue, what would it be?
It would be one of those big cable multi-gyms.
Just literally like a Cybex, like with all the racks.
Like the one we have at Muscleworks is massive. That has everything attached to it.
It's got like lat pull down. It's got. I don't even know how many stations has that got?
It's got 4 on each side.
It's brilliant.
And the pull-up station in the middle.
Yeah, and a dip as well.
It's just a dip. Yeah, I love that. Cheers.
It's great, fantastic. I don't know what I'd have. I didn't get asked, but I'd probably have. Yeah, I know. I didn't get asked. Just Luke. It's all right. You know, I live in Luke's shadow. He's the main man.
Well, I think it's because you have a gym with everything you need. That's why I didn't.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm training out of a fucking garage the size of like a squat.
This is true. I didn't think about that. But if I did have a garage, I think you've done the right thing by getting the rack first and foremost. I think it's such a.
The rack. I mean, it also has the lat pull down attachment. So
exactly, it's got more on it.
Nothing I can't do in there.
Yeah,
like there really isn't. Apart from like obscure machines like vertical leg presses or pendulum squats, I can hack. I can leg press, leg extension, leg curl. Yeah. I can do pec flies. I can do presses, dumbbell presses, rows, deadlifts, squats, safety bar squats. I can do everything I need to do in there, and I got plenty of weight to do it.
To be fair, I would probably just end up doing shitloads of. Dumbbell hamstring curls because they feel so good.
I've got quite heavy dumbbells I need to get. So what I want to do is I want to get a smaller set as well.
Such a good exercise.
Yeah, they're amazing. And I can also do them with the cuffs, like with the leg extension. I put the cuff in the middle.
That's true. You do have that.
Like Sarah was doing it yesterday. She put it on her Instagram and she was lying face down.
Yeah.
Because talking about Sarah, and we're having Wimpy again tonight.
You lucky bastards! I saw her post Wimpy. I was like,
they do such a clean just chicken burger, just chicken breast, light mayo, in a wholemeal bun. With lettuce.
Man, I miss Wimpy, but I miss the old sandwich, the old burger they had that had the sausage in it.
I'm getting that as well.
Oh, you lucky
I'll get one for you and eat it myself.
Do you guys remember the bodybuilding and strength competition Dorian endorsed a few years back?
Super League.
That was Super League. I was never tempted for that.
No, Ben would have been really good at that.
Yeah, he would have liked that.
He was quite tempted, but no, because the reason I wasn't is because I just thought it was a bit shit.
Mate, it's injury. Who got injured? Who did it got injured?
Everyone, I think.
Yeah, there was some people tore some shit, and I just knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
If you could eat one food for the rest of your life,
Well, bodybuilding life, bodybuilding
yeah,
career, steak.
prawns. I love prawns. I love prawns, man. I just love them.
They're really good. I just didn't think prawns.
I don't know. They make my life a good life. There's just something about them.
Prawn.
I do love a prawn, mate.
Do you feel bad
Sainsbury's.
when you watch District 9 when they're killing the prawns? You did
I'm-
put it's the prawns. You're killing
That's such a good film.
You're setting fire to the prawns.
Well, you know what? I eat the prawns, so they can be sacrificed. It's fine.
Yeah, sacrificing the prawns.
I do. I thought that was sorry. I know this is, but that film was fantastic, mate. They should have followed that up.
Well, I hope they still will. I hope to do the Aliens sequel.
That would be good. That would be good.
Right. Since training at home during the lockdown, is it something you will do more after this is all passed, whenever that may be? I don't know, actually.
Yeah, I wonder that for you. Like, what's your? Do you like the sub? Is it one of the things would you incorporate?
I think I would use it if for smaller body parts, or I wanted to just. I don't know. Actually, I honestly don't know.
That's what I mean. It's a tough one, isn't it? It's a tough one.
I think it's going to be nice just to have the option to do it.
Like, let's say, for example, let's say you had just a busy day.
Yeah, busy day, or I've got my kids. Because if I have Leo,
Just throw Leo in the garage with you.
I'll make him train. No, I can. But if he's in the garage, like I can train in the garage, he can just sit in the lounge playing his game. I'm 5 meters away from him.
This is true.
And I can't really go to the gym and just make him sit there and play a Switch. Not that I've ever done that, but that would have to be the option, or I'd have to stay at home with Sarah, which is still bullshit. But this way, I can just go and train, and he can come with me and squat.
That's great. That's great. Let's hope, yeah.
But
you gents,
I do need a piece of cardio equipment. I would love a treadmill.
What are you thinking? Just a regular treadmill.
Treadmill. They're comfortable, and I can knock an hour of cardio without getting a sore ass or chafe.
Same. It's the bikes literally just really cause a lot of issues. They rub your groin, legs get too pumped.
Yeah,
like they're a nightmare for bodybuilding.
Yeah, like joint problems because like the Stairmaster's great, but my hips just die.
They're tough.
You gents like Indian food, and what's your favorite Indian dish? You can go there because I know you like.
I like the chicken chat puree for a starter. Louis got me onto that. It's like it's like a wrap with just chicken in it and like this sauce on top. I don't even know what the sauce is, but it's really good.
Yeah.
And then my main is normally I'm just gonna go for it. Normally I get a vegetable biryani rice.
Yep.
A butter chicken as well. Then a chicken tikka sauce because I love that. A masala sauce, and then usually some sagaloo because I do love sagaloo. And then naan bread. I love naan bread. Any of them, peshwari, regular, whatever. Love naan bread. Naan bread's the one.
I don't know any of the names. I just when I order, I just know what I look on the menu and just go
chicken. But they are good.
So
I do love it.
What?
You look so innocent.
What's your favorite? You know,
he
likes it as plain as possible because spices are not good for his tummy.
Oh,
North Gym's brilliant.
That's that's like a fantastic gym, doesn't it?
It's really cool because it's got a lot of old school stuff there. It's just a lovely gym.
Where is Norton Gym?
I can't remember now because Ben and I have trained there a few times. I've really, 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 really injured my knee there. And we've been there a few times. It was actually the reason I went there is because the only gym in the area that had a hack squat at the time, and now everyone had. At the time, they had the prequel hack squat. No one else anywhere at all had a hack.
Oh, really? One of them. Oh, so this is Norton Gym now we're looking at, I believe. Does that look familiar?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yeah, nice. It's like Grand Theft Auto design on the artwork.
Why is it a Redcon 1 video? I don't understand what's going on.
I think he's just put the. Oh no, actually, do you know what? Because Romain used to be a Redcon.
Oh yeah.
And he used to train.
Didn't he make a big video about why I left Redcon 1?
I don't know, but have you noticed that? Do you follow him?
No.
I'm not like he's a nice guy, but the Instagram was flooded with him yesterday. He did like a whole life story post every 10 minutes for all of his life. I don't know. He must have been like a strategy to get fake followers to like stop following him or something. He literally posted like every hour something about where he's been and what he's done.
He must be really bored.
I don't know. Maybe that's that.
Yeah,
look at the old.
This is awesome. Look at all this real old equipment.
That's that. Ronnie Coleman's used that one, that old lateral superset with shoulder press machine.
Lovely plates as well. I'm a big fan of lovely plates.
Yeah. That brand, I know it's Nitro. What's it called?
I know, yeah. And there's loads of Nautilus in there.
Yeah, it's a good brand.
Mate, we're gonna have to train. We're gonna have to go train it and film.
We kind of do quite a lot of visits to gyms, really, aren't we? To be fair, Luke, we've been a bit uptight. We can do this.
Yeah.
Who is the most intense bodybuilder you guys have ever trained with? I think everyone has it. Oh, you said Rich Kozetski's already.
Rich Kozetski, yeah.
I don't know, because everyone has their own kind of. You don't have to look intense to be intense. You know what I mean, Luke?
Yeah, and also the other thing is, like, you and I mess around, and then when we sit down and do our set, we go in, and then as soon as we start giggling. It's like, what does intensity mean? Because the people that are like in the middle of their set, they're like, "I'm here to train. This is my training face." It's just fuck off. You don't need to be like that. Stop showing off. Calm down.
It's true. Like I can.
If you like that, I don't want to train with you.
Yeah, I can be pretty relaxed, and then as long as I'm, set time.
I think what it is because, like, to know you can turn on the violence and the peaceful side because you know both quite well.
Yeah.
So you've been like you've experienced both. So you know what both is. You know what the mind is. So it's easy to turn it on because that's when it needs to be turned on. You don't need to be intense as fuck when you're not holding any weight. As soon as you unrack something, you're gonna. It's that fight or flight mode you get.
Yeah. Well, this is what I always said. I always said, like, you actually risk
because that's all you can do. You can't run away from a barbell, and you just have at it.
I feel like you can risk fatigue actually when you do try to stay in that.
Yeah, I think so. It's stress. You don't need stress.
You only need it at times.
When you're not stressed, I think you should
Absolutely
relax your body as much as possible.
I do as well.
It's not relaxing, but it's like letting it be calm.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you just need to be able to tap into.
Yes.
But
Lee Priest was like that. He was super chill, and then Kevin Levrone was like that, super chill. Like, or even Chris Cormier, you see him like that, all super chill. And then when they get under the bar, animal.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters, and you can't knock any of these physiques.
No, absolutely. He's some of the best there's ever been.
In terms of intensity, everyone I've trained with is intense.
Yeah, same.
When it's time to do their set, it's all business.
This is true, and I've seen that from all levels of athlete. You know, like whether they're, and they say this isn't just professionals. This is like people that just love training. Like, intensity can be in anyone. You don't have to be a certain person in order to have it.
Yeah.
So
intensity to me, the only thing that matters. We've said this. The most intense thing you can do in the gym, end of story, is a 1 rep max. That's the intent. As long as the last rep of your set looks like that, it's as intense as 1 rep max on all your working sets, whether it's 50 reps, whether it's 2 reps, whether it's 10 reps, it doesn't matter. If it's that hard, you're putting that level of intensity into that last rep. It doesn't matter if you're fucking around in between your sets. It doesn't matter what you're doing the rest of the time. That's what counts.
Yeah,
that's all you do. And you just need, I actually think I feel quite bad for people who feel that aggression the whole session.
I do as well, because it's hard for them. They probably finish and leave the gym and go home, and it's still in them.
Well, hopefully they can turn it off after they train. A lot of people can turn it off after they train. But
I hope so.
I mean, but you and I think, but the thing is, you and I have kind of evolved into that. I don't think it's always been that way for you.
Oh no, it certainly takes time. You have to.
It's something we learn how to do.
Yeah. It doesn't come to you straight away. In the early days, training was very different, and it was like you say, there'd be times where you're like, "Don't talk to me when I'm training." But now, well, if you want to have a little, I don't mind having a little chin wag while I'm training. Honestly, it doesn't bother me.
What are your thoughts on Kevin Levrone?
I met him when I was really young, when they came to England, and I haven't seen triceps like that since.
I'll tell you a story of Kevin Levrone. When I first met him,
go on, mate.
I was in Australia, and we competed together.
Oh yeah.
And he was the most rude fucking prick I've ever seen. He said something to me. I can't remember what it was now. And I think Ben. I wasn't with Ben at the time. I was with somebody, and he was always don't hit him.
Jordan might have been Jordan. Australia.
Don't hit him. Don't. And they had to stop me. And I had to ask to be moved. I had to ask for my table to be moved because he wound me up that much. The way he spoke to me.
Yeah. And then.
The fuck are you talking to? And he's apologized since. We were day out from a show. I get it. And since then we've done the seminar together at Muscle Works. So I spent time with him. He's the fucking coolest guy. Literally one of the coolest guys I've ever met.
It's very cool.
That was not a reflection of him at all when he did that, because I probably snapped to people, and I don't think he meant it. I think he was just fed up.
Yeah, I think by then.
Yeah, but he's honestly, like, when he did that seminar at Muscleworks, great guy, and he's just, there was a lot of things that we learned about him, like a thing with his dad and everything. It was crazy.
Yeah, parents and stuff. Yeah, it was really deep. It was great to hear.
But
Johnny?
yeah,
I thought I heard Johnny reach out.
Oh, here we go. Do you think the UK needs an expo as Body Power last year? It's getting one. It's in
September, isn't it?
September or October, no, September. I've been.
Yeah.
You going?
Yeah, he messaged me. He said, "Are you in?" I said, "Yeah."
So okay, so we are there with Supplement Needs, or they stock Redcon 1.
Yeah.
They are having a booth, and we're going to set up a little Redcon 1 stand, and we are going to go there to represent Redcon 1. As obviously there, and obviously just represent British bodybuilding. We're there for ourselves, and it's just going to be a cool experience. I think it's going to be solely bodybuilding. I've been told it's going to be the whole expo is going to revolve around bodybuilding.
Yeah,
not any bullshit Gymshark.
Yeah, it won't be one of those occasions. It'll be legit. It'll be legit. There's some good people behind it. Richard from Strom and people like that are running it, so it's going to be great.
The only thing I think the issues with Gymshark at like the expos, they just take up half the expo and they attract so many people who don't want an expo.
Absolutely. Johnny Styles.
Yes, I'm back here. All right, guys. I think we're ready to wrap it up.
Frying us off.
Thank you guys so much for taking the time of the day, coming on the show, talking a little bit about everything. We talked from Zelda to if expos are going to come back. So I'll see you guys next week. We'll keep adding more topics into the show so people can know what we're going to talk ahead of time. So
yeah, we're going to message you in between time. We're going to WhatsApp you some things.
Actually, maybe plan what we're going to talk about. Make it at least somewhat professional.
It's getting there. Week by week, it's getting better. So,
I hope he doesn't.
No, we're good. We're good. All right, guys. Well, now it's Luke Sandoe, James Hollingshead, straight from the UK. I'm Johnny Styles. We'll see you guys later.
Take care, guys. Thanks again.
Bye.